Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints.
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves a good mystery, but also loves building things. It's Frank. How are you today?
I am curious. The mystery is building.
It's building. It's building so high. So Frank does not know what we're going to talk about on today's episode, because it's a bit of a surprise. But I think because I just want his general reaction, I think to what's going to happen, and so we will reveal all after you tell me what your beverage of choice is today on Beer with Geeks.
Tonight's beveragino is an IPA, a hazy Imperial IPA.
Imperial, you say?
From the New Belgium Brewing Company. It is their Voodoo Ranger Juice Force IPA.
That sounds good.
9.5% alcohol by volume. And it is a juicy hazy IPA. And I've had one from this pack already, but opening this one,
it's
and enjoying a citrusy India Pale Ale.
That sounds good. So I'm drinking. This is going to be hilarious. So
okay.
So my wife is a gardener, as you're aware.
Hilarious.
And there have been bugs eating. By the way, don't check your email right now because I sent you something and it's all part of the thing. So don't check your email. So she's had to do like some like beer traps to lure some bugs that have been eating the bugs in. So she went to the store and she was like, what beer should I use for bug traps? Like, give me like your cheapest, like whatever. And the guy was like, oh, you want this beer. Like he like had a thing, like he knew.
Okay.
He's like, everybody's been coming in for this particular beer.
Interesting.
And so I have one of those beers.
Oh, it's Natty Ice. Wait, not even Natty Light?
No, it's the natural ice.
Oh my God, it's Natty heavy.
Yep. Natty,
oh my God.
Ice brewed for a smooth taste. It's a 5.9. Oh, Natty Ice, ridiculous. I've never had one, but I thought it was hilarious.
Oh
so I'm going to replace. I'll replace with a good beer and thing. But
can I tell you, my dad, for as long as I can remember, has always kept like a 6-pack of Natty Light in the fridge. Because he's not a drinker. My dad does not. He drinks on special occasions and rarely any other times. But he always, I don't know why, it was just like that was the cheap beer, I guess. And when he was growing up, like there was no really good beer in America anyway. So he doesn't have much of a taste for beer. So he just kept some in the fridge always for when he just felt like it, for like a hot summer day and he felt like a cold beer. There it was, a Natty Light always. And it was always Natty Light. And now that I know something about, when I was growing up, I didn't know any different. Knowing something about beer now, I'm like, Dad, have some respect.
I know.
Like at least a Budweiser or something. Like Miller Lite, something, have some self-respect. Natty, really?
Yep. So anyway, that's what I'm
just keep bottled water in the back of the fridge at that point.
That's what I'm drinking. And the light especially. This one's definitely not light, but it's not the worst beer I've ever had.
Sure.
Like it's better than Bud Light. That's what I'm going to say.
It's better than Bud Light?
I don't like Bud Light. Tastes like it tastes like
It doesn't taste like much.
Yeah, it's no good. Yes, it's no good. I don't like it.
Bud Light's more texture
R2
than
just
taste.
caused tinnitus in my ear. I know I'm getting old when. Anyway.
There's been like 12 reasons today of why you're getting old.
Oh my God,
Back
I'm
issues
sitting
here.
on my heating pack and I'm drinking natty ice and oh my gosh, yeah, and I'm falling apart. Anyway, Frank, here's what's happening. I play Dungeons and Dragons. You're familiar with this concept,
Yes.
With a group of some of our friends, and we were putting our current game, in which we are actually playing ourselves, circa 2006, on hold in a zombie apocalypse. On hold, we're going to transition into a Star Wars D&D game. And tonight, you have the distinct honor of helping me build my character.
This is fun. Okay,
Yeah.
this is fun.
Okay, I knew
This is fun.
I knew you'd have a good time. This is kind of fun. It's going to be fun.
Okay, cool. Can I look at my email yet?
Yes, you can look at your email because
Is there a character sheet in there or something?
there's a whole list of like the rules and whatever. So some of the specific character stuff, like we don't exactly have to decide right now. You're basically going to help me decide like what species I am, what class I am, meaning my job, and then we'll come up with some kind of like backstory for my character, like why I do the things that I do.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Yeah, I know, so intense, right? So
intense.
So people won't be able to see these rules, but I'll give you. So we're gonna play. I wasn't there for the meeting, so whatever. But we're playing in the Old Republic.
Yes.
And so because there were lots of Jedi, lots of Sith, a lot of political intrigue, and Star Wars is Star Wars. It doesn't really matter what age you drop anybody into. Like you learn who the good guys are, the bad guys are, and you're pretty much good to go. And so it's Star Wars point, which is, for those who have no idea, the Old Republic is when the Senate rules the core worlds like Coruscant and oh my gosh, not
all of them,
not Korugar. No, all of them. No, oh my gosh, Mandalorian, Mandalore. No, that's not what I was thinking of though. Oh my gosh, Corellia. That's what I wanted.
Oh, Corellia.
Oof, that was really tough. Yeah, I got stuck with Coruscant, and that's why I couldn't keep going. So anyway, the Jedi Order are well spread and powerful. The Outer Rim, which is like where Tatooine and stuff is like a frontier town, right? Everything's like the Wild West out there. It's not part of the Senate yet, or part of the core worlds. And the Sith are everywhere. This is before the Rule of Two, so there's just as many Sith as there are Jedi. Thereabouts. All right, so we are playing a political thriller mixed with a ragtag group of rebels. So like that. So like we have our spaceship with our cast of characters, and we're playing a political thriller. And so you don't really have to know anything about anything. But first, let's choose a species. Where do you think I should be? So there's already like a couple of Jedi on there. There's a couple of droids. There's a Wookiee. So I'm going to go in a different direction. My first thought was to play a Rodian who does not speak a word of English at all. So the gameplay exactly. So the whole game is just going to be
McClunky.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think there is a translator droid somewhere on the ship. So that person will just be forced to translate. Like I'll have to type out like whatever it is I'm trying to say, and they're going to have to translate or something. But I'm like, if this was you and you were playing this game, like what would you like? And you could be anything in Star Wars. You could be literally anything. Like what would you go? What would you do? It's tough, right?
Okay. It's tough. I like, you got the Mon Calamari.
Mm-hmm.
You got the, you don't want to be a Gamorrean. You don't want to be, what was the,
Gamorreans are the giant pigs, right? Because I actually really like them.
Gamorrean guards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sure. I think they're cool, but I don't want to be one.
Sure. No, not forever.
Their life doesn't seem very fulfilling. Maybe a Kaminoan?
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Rodian's not bad, though. Rodian's not bad.
No, but Master Jedi.
Mm-hmm,
Have to talk like this the whole time. We were hoping that you would come and bring us here. Thank you so much. Actually, that's
is your father home?
Yeah, but then I have to also think about the height differences of certain things. That would be hilarious.
Oh, sure. The translator is no problem, but the height difference in this fantasy game is really going to screw you.
That actually matters. What if you have to squeeze into a small space and you're a Gamorrean guard? That matters. Oh, I can't fit because my butt is too big. That's actually that's a thing.
All right.
So I'm not opposed to it. I mean, we got a Wookiee on the team. You know what I mean? So
okay. So, yeah, wait. I need to know. So, what are the other characters? That kind of plays into this.
Okay, so that's a good question.
For everyone listening at home, I need you to understand there is a Google Slides presentation that is 32 slides long, I think, and counting, because apparently it's still a work in progress. I don't know.
Yes. Pug made it. Do
you think that whichever friend who is working on this would mind us sharing a copy of these slides when they're in the show notes?
Probably not. But I will ask.
Okay. Yeah. Because this is pretty neat, and I feel like people might enjoy, even if it's a work in progress. It doesn't have to be the version that all of you are in. I can make a copy of it to share because this is pretty neat.
Yeah. Okay. So you asked me.
We've got droids. We've got Bothans. Oh, many Bothans died to bring us that information. There's a lot of species that I don't even
you don't even know.
I didn't know that Plo Koon was a Keldor. Didn't know that. Didn't know what an Ithorian was, or a Gran, or a Syrian.
It's funny that you say that because it's funny how little I actually do know about Star Wars. I guess how many I do know about Star Wars aliens.
Yeah.
I think that with any sci-fi, if I read a Star Wars book or a Star Trek book or anything, I'm and they'll say an alien species, I'm
yeah. I just sort of okay, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a thing. Yep. Probably.
Now, Twi'leks I know. Mon Calamari I know. Trandoshans I know. Rhodians. Wookiees, obviously.
Yep.
But there's a handful that are unfamiliar to me. I don't know. Do you want to be more of a? Well, I guess we're sticking with just species because yeah. Well, your inkling was Rhodian, so do you want to stick with that?
Truthfully, the only reason that I thought Rhodian was so I could be Ichukawanga solo.
You basically just want to make the game take twice as long as it needs to, so you can say things and everyone needs to repeat. Yeah.
Yes, of course. But I am not. But I like the idea of a Camino in. That's pretty fun. Just because it's Can you hear my dog making bubble sounds?
No.
She's a little too far away. She's going bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh.
That's when she's had a good day because she's having a good dream.
Oh.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Anyway. Yeah. So the only reason I is for that. So I'm actually not opposed to doing another species. In the slightest, it could be.
Do you want to be a Togruta? A Togruta like Ahsoka?
No, it could be a Toydarian.
Only money.
Could be a Gungan. Yeah.
How about a Dug? A well-known, a very particularly dangerous Dug named Sebulba.
I actually did think about a Dug. Ijuwanka.
Yeah.
Namamanga.
Voodoo.
Yeah. I did think about that. Actually, Doug is in here. It's funny that you say that because if you click on the second page, you see that there's homebrew species that's in there. So it tells you your brawn, agility, intellect, cunning, willpower, presence. And so defensive driving talent. I'm good at brawling, stuff like that. So
sure.
So, but anyway, you asked me what was around or available or needed or anything like that.
Yes. What hasn't been taken already, I guess.
And so there, of course, he moved off the page. I should have taken they're doing I said, I'll explain to you why I'm late. So they're actually building my friends are building some characters right now. as they're going. So we're doing it here. And they're having a little info, and they're having an info session. But
I see.
There's a couple of Jedi. So it's more, not so much like what so if you go to the very last page, we'll do it this way. So if you go if you go to the last page, you'll see that like Dan is a pilot, Damon's the co-pilot, Kid's the engineer, Damon's also a mechanic, Pug's on comms, somebody's the doctor, so it's more about like filling the ship roles. And so I'm down at supplier because I had floated before this started. I was like, this is a political intrigue. And nobody's a senator yet, like, because there's a couple of droids, smugglers, like whatever, but nobody is like 2 or 3 Jedi, but nobody is like actually like, okay, I got to go mingle with some people. So I was thinking of doing that, and that would technically be under the, if you were to be really specific about it. The Diplomat is the actual name for it. It's technically like Padme Amidala. I'm playing Padme.
Okay.
Yeah, or Princess Leia in a different realm, but like that style of character. Senator Bail Organa.
Sure, Bail. Okay. Yeah. Yep. See, my mind goes to, when I hear supplier, I think almost like a smuggler. And I know that smuggler is a separate role that's here already, but my mind kind of goes to somebody who can, but it's a diplomat. So the diplomat is,
so you're like the under key, like the low key supplier. So like on Andor, it's what's his name? Stellan Skarsgård.
Yes, Skarsgård. Yeah.
Like he's a supplier. But he's not really a he's kind of a diplomat-esque because he owns the shop and whatever else. He's like the in-between character. Or, even actually, Mon Mothma is kind of like a supplier in a way, right? Because, she gives money to these things or whatever. But
that's right.
Those characters are always human. Always.
Always.
And not that, like, I can't play a human. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Most of Star Wars is made up of humanoid characters. But if you could be like a Gran on, whatever planet they're from, the guy with the 3 eyes, like why not?
Yeah, I think you want to be. I think you want to be a. Oh gosh, this is terrible podcasting. I'm blanking on the character's name.
What does he look like?
He
the little bat thing from
nope.
From A New Hope.
You know what? No, you know what? You should be a mouse droid.
I should just be Ben Quadraneros. I think that's it. Not even his species.
Whatever he is.
Actual.
No,
Ben
you know what?
Quadraneros.
I'm on slide 15. This is terrible podcasting. This guy, the explorer on slide 15, whatever species he is what you should be.
Is that the guy in A New Hope that wears the giant plague doctor mask? Because that, that guy. That's what he is.
The guy who tells them which way Luke and
yeah. I don't know who that guy.
Everyone is going with.
I don't know.
Docking Bay 94.
I don't know what species that is. At all. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build me 3 different characters, 3 different types, instead of deciding on one, and then I will report back one day, probably not, and say this is what I chose. So let's give me 3 different types of characters, and go from there. So let's say we started with Rodian.
Yep.
Only speaks Rodian.
Rodian.
Only speaks Rodian. He is the ship cook because he only speaks in food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very Jon Favreau.
Totally, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. His name is...
Chef.
His name is Fav Row. F-A-V 'R-O.
Nice.
This is Favreau. Favreau. So good. See, this is what good D&D is. Like, it's dumb stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is Favreau. Only speaks Rhodian. Ship cook because he only speaks in food. What's his backstory? If he only speaks Rhodian, he's probably either his mouth is not capable of making basic English, or he's not intelligent enough to speak multiple languages.
If he can communicate through food, it's more of a he was. How about he was sheltered? You know, he never really went off world.
Sheltered upbringing. How does he end up on that ship in the first place? Want to add for a cook. He was working his way up in the foodie community on Rhodia, I guess. And he won a few awards, and then he wanted to see what was going on out there, in a world outside of Yonkers. And he is that a reference to that movie about Yonkers that I've never seen? Isn't there a movie about? Yes, excellent. Working his way uptown, crossing streets. Okay, and something dumb. Like, he's like, so he's like, what kind of person is he? Like, in it to win it for himself, or is he about the greater good of others? He just he just wants to share as much food with the galaxy. Just wants to share as much as possible.
Yes.
Has no political affiliation whatsoever.
No, he's grown up in the Republic, and he doesn't know anything else.
Okay, easily swayed by the best sales pitch. They end up at some place and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, join the dark side."
Is he one of those people? Who kind of always agrees with the last person he talked to?
Yes, yes.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, but that makes a lot of sense too. Oh, but that makes a lot of sense too.
That's great. That's so good. Okay. That's so good. Okay. That's one character. All right.
Do you want to just commit to that one and just keep going through the exercise here?
Yeah, I can keep doing that. So, if that's his job, so if you go and look at, so I'm also the supplier. Where is that? No.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at like the different kind of roles, you'll see that
Mm-hmm.
every role has different specializations, and stuff like that. So if I'm the hired gun, I could be a bodyguard, I could be a mercenary, or if I'm a technician, I'm a mechanic, or I'm a slicer. If I'm an ace, I'm either a pilot or a driver, that kind of thing. So
I mean, the slicer is what a cook would do, right?
Sure. Oh, so like he's also like secretly good at slicing because he's like, it's just like slicing wires. It's just like slicing some tilapia. It's like,
yes.
Yeah.
Slicing some space tilapia.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. So he is a technician, slicer specialty, just like slicing some space tilapia.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Just like Mama used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Back on Rhodia,
where we ate only worms, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then so the story doesn't matter as much. Okay. If I'm the supplier, technically that means I'm the cook on the ship, which means we don't really have supplies, which is fine. You know, we have Jedi, so we don't need supplies. That doesn't matter.
I mean, supplies, you know, you have to order food.
I mean, that's true. I do have to order. I mean, food is important. It keeps
you got to, you got to do provisioning if you're the cook.
It keeps people alive. Okay.
I know this from watching Below Deck, Tim. See, you have to have the cook has to make the provisions orders, and the crew has to help, you know, bring the orders on board. And
I mean, I guess that's the same as Star Wars. I guess. How much of that show do you really watch? How much do you really watch? Okay.
What?
I mean, okay. So I have to pick a couple of characteristics. There are 6 characteristics: agility, brawn, cunning, intellect, presence, and willpower. Oh no, you know, they're just kidding. Those are not to pick from. Those are oh my gosh, now I can't think of the word. Those are like I'll be based on my class or my species. Those like I'll be good at some of them or not good at others. You know,
yes,
things like that.
Yeah, I understand. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all I can do without them building an actual sheet. That's pretty much all I can do for that one. So let's quickly, because we're at 25 minutes. Help me build. Help me build another one.
Okay.
Let's go in a completely different direction. That one's the joke one. So let's say, like, I'm building a non-joke one.
Okay. Non-joke one. Be a Plo Koon. Be a Keldor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Yep. Okay. I do love Plo Koon.
Plo Koon's cool.
Keldor. Okay. I am.
Remember that store Caldor? Did you guys have that in New England?
No. What's that?
It was like a department store in the 90s.
Oh, well, I don't remember Caldor at all.
Okay. The name Keldor reminded me of it. That's all.
I'm not familiar with that plan at all. Okay. I'm going to say, let's say I am. I don't think anybody is a. Oof, that's one of the roles is a colonist, which is just an awful name.
Colonizer in chains.
Yeah, are the out of place in the Outer Rim. They are for the colon doesn't tend to have the training to survive in areas of high conflict and isn't particularly adept at physical exploits. So he's either a doctor, a politico, or a scholar. Those are like the things. Or Fringer, scout, and trader. What if I'm like a Dr. Aphra? You know, like what if Keldor is like a space archaeologist?
Ooh, yeah, space archaeologist. What if he was a space paleontologist?
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I can be both because it's Star Wars.
There you go.
Archaeologist and paleontologist. Absolutely. Space archaeologist and paleontologist. My specialty is then I am a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
I am in,
and a gentleman.
And a gentleman. I want to write that just because. But that's the kind of person I am. I'm like, oh, let me hold this automatic door for you, madam. You know, like, yeah. So, space archaeologist and paleontologist. I'm a scholar. I am in the Outer Rim. I'm in the Outer Rim looking for the ancient remains of... Oh, shoot. What's the big dragon on Tatooine?
Crate dragon?
Crate dragon. Right on. Crate dragon. Suspect they are linked to the Sith for some unknown reason I will come up with later.
Sure.
I have no idea what the...
When I found out that The Last Jedi was going to culminate in a battle on a planet called Crate, I was like, that must be where the Crate Dragon's from. Nah, spelled different.
Spelled so different.
Just pronounced the same.
Like stare and stare. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a name for Keldor. I guess Favreau could also be the name for both. I like the name. Like, I don't know if I actually want to change it. It's like super
What about
Star
like Philo Ni?
Okay, yeah. That's it feels like a more Rhodian name, so I'm gonna go.
That's true. You should probably
Filoni. Okay, Filoni. Dave Filoni. I gotta write that out in a different
Felony.
way. F-I-E apostrophe L-O-I-N-E. Just so I remember how to say it. Yeah, because otherwise it's gonna look like Filoni, and it's just not gonna. It's gonna annoy me inside. Filoni and Favreau. Actually, as fun as the Rhodian cook is, Keldor just is a little more exciting.
It is more exciting. Space paleontologist.
Space paleontologist.
Where have I heard that before?
Yeah. Okay. And then he ends up with that ship because they need his expertise. So I'm sought out, Alan Grant style.
Yeah.
Actually, I could totally go with Alan Grant's personality.
Mm-hmm. I think that's exactly what you should do.
Yeah, hates kids. His one defining character trait: hates kids. would rather be with his bones. Would rather be with his bones. Yeah. This is exciting. Okay, we did it. Okay, so I'm either a Keldor, a Favreau, and whose name is Favreau, or a Rhodian whose name is Filoni. Yeah, this is good. I'm excited. Keldor might change. I mean, I basically do any species once I actually take a look at, because they all have what we didn't look at while we're still going. So if you click on each species, it'll bring you to who they are and stuff. But I don't know what their Kaminoan is actually on here. Hilarious. 1 for brawn, 2 for agility, 3 for intellect, 2 for... I could actually be a Kaminoan and still do Keldor. Yeah, I could basically change any of that out. That would be... but where do I... Keldor... Excuse me.
Bless you.
I can't find Keldor at all for some reason. K. Where's K? Oh, there he is at the bottom. Because 1 for brawn, 2 for agility, 2 for intellect, 2 for cunning, 3 for willpower, and 2 for presence. So, yeah, actually, that seems okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't want to be super brawny if I'm the intellectual. So, yeah, Indiana Jones fumbling style. So, yeah, okay, this is good, Frank. This is great. We did it, everybody. We successfully filled a half an hour of content. So, Frank, where can the people find us?
Head on over to beerwithgeeks.com, where you can find the show notes for this and all of our episodes, all 450 of our episodes. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please rate and review us, or follow and subscribe to us, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Stitcher or Overcast, wherever it is. Rate and review, follow and subscribe. Those things all help us immensely. And if you also want to help us immensely another way, you can go over to patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio, and you can support our little network that way. Those are the best ways to reach us, I would say.
I would think those are correct, Frank. Well, until next time we reach each other, It's been a pleasure. And as always, cheers.
Cheers. Echuta.